Hey y'all, it's Linda. Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I have seen this on several other channels, but I most recently saw it on Lauren Mae Beauty's channel, and I wanted to see what a full face of my regular everyday makeup actually costs. So I feel like with makeup, it's really easy to be like, okay, I'm gonna buy this one product here, this one product there, but when you add it all up, the stuff that you're putting on your face is likely pretty expensive. Even if it's all, more affordable brands or drugstore brands or whatever, it's still going to add up. So I have the products in front of me, what I would wear if I was going into work or if I was going, maybe out to a work event. Because to be honest, I do work a 9-to-5 job. That is like a lot of my life. So while I love putting on really bright, colorful makeup and rhinestones and stamps and whatever, that really isn't my everyday makeup for what I'm wearing to work, which again takes up a majority of my life. So this look is going to be pretty neutral, and I pulled out the items that I genuinely wear the most. They are my go-to items, so we can see how much a full face costs. Now, full disclosure, when I put out these things, I did want to prepare a little bit, and I wrote down what each of these items costs on their own so I can let you know, but I did not add it all up yet. I'm going to do that at the very end. I'm a little nervous to do that because I forgot how much some of these products cost. I feel like it's also not necessarily fair to be like, this full face of makeup costs $1,000 because I'm not using an entire palette on my face till it's empty each time I use it. You know what I mean? But I feel like it does give a little bit of perspective. Did I just say perspective? I did. But if this is your first time here, hi, my name is Linda. I'm a cruelty-free beauty YouTuber, and I always want to help you decide whether or not your makeup, skincare, hair care, whether these products are worth the money, whether they're drugstore priced, luxury, high-end. I just want you spending your money wisely. I feel like I'm saying that, and then I'm about to add all this up, and I might throw up on the floor. Also, last year was my very first low buy year, and I am kind of continuing that just into my regular life, and I'm trying to be really careful about the kind of products I bring into my collection, and also really trying to use the good stuff instead of saving it for some mythical rainy day. So if you're into that as you're watching this, I would love if you'd hit that subscribe button and become a part of the Rockstar fam. Let's get right into this. I already did my skincare, which is probably why I look hella glowy. My sunscreen does that for me. But I'm going to put these products on in the order I would wear them. And we're just going to see. I have a feeling that this is just going to make me a little nauseous. I really do, because again, I'm on a low buy. And did I buy any of these products last year? Very few of them. These are pretty old products. And yes, don't pitch to me about expiration dates and all that. I know they exist. I just like to pretend they don't. All right. So the very first product I'm going to use is the Auric Glow Lust. This is my favorite glowy primer. I still do love the the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, but this one is my absolute favorite. I'm just putting a little bit on a brush and dotting it here and there, and I'm gonna just blend this all over. This has a very light tint to it, but it's really nothing significant. It's really the glow that it gives me as a base under my foundation. So it's probably even hard to see the difference, but you can see a glow there. I just really, really love this product. This one, is this my most expensive? No, this is nowhere near my most expensive. This is $46.50. It used to be $45. They just recently raised their prices. I understand everyone really does have to raise prices because shipping costs more and packaging costs more and everything like that, but this is now $46.50, so no small feat. Now, my foundation is slightly, I hate to use the word affordable because I know that there are $2 foundations out there, but for foundation, I really like for my everyday the Urban Decay Hydromaniac. This is really good for dry skin and light to light medium coverage and throwing on the floor. It's good for that. But really, if you're someone who's into a more full coverage or even a medium coverage, this probably isn't for you. They even call this, do they call this a skin tint? Or no, they call it a tinted glow hydrator, and they do say medium coverage. I think it's a light to medium at best. So I use 2 shades every time because that's how I got my perfect shade, and I use it in 30 and 40. And what I do is I just take my little makeup palette and I do not much, to be honest. I don't use a ton of foundation. There we go. There's the 2 colors. And again, I don't use a ton. And this is, I'm actually going to apply this the way I always do. I take my finger and I just dot this all over my face. And to blend that in, I'm using the BK Beauty 106 brush. This is my favorite foundation brush. And I'm not including brushes in the cost of this. I probably should, but this is just for makeup for the time being. Now again, I know I just used a very little bit of foundation and that's what I prefer, but at the same time, like you can see every single freckle still showing through. You can still see, you know, like bumps on my face or anything like that. You can still see my sunspot over here showing through. It's a lighter coverage, but I love this. It is a dewy, luminous coverage, but I feel like it's very skin-like at the same time. It does a great job at evening out the skin. So these two are $29 each, which means that it is $58 for the pair of these. If you're just using one, hey, $29, congratulations. But because I'm using two, $58. That's kind of crazy to think about, because if I see a foundation just by itself sitting on the shelf for $58, I would be like, oh, hell no, that's really expensive. But two of them, yeah, of course, sign me up. Again, I'm just applying all this in the order I would normally apply it. So this is one of my more big ticket items. I have to like polish it first because it looks gross, but this is the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Sun-Kissed Glow Bronzer. This is a cream bronzer, and I know it's hard to tell, but I have used the heck out of this. I have used this every single day. Every day, no matter what makeup look I'm doing, I always use this. And it is my perfect cream bronzer. I think the shade I have is, no, it's fair. I thought it was medium. But I love this. You know what I don't love is the price. The reason that I waited so long to buy this originally is because of the freaking price. This is a $54 cream bronzer. $54, which is kind of insane. That's a lot of money considering that you can get bronzers for way cheaper. But I just love what this one does. And I do kind of do like a, what is it, Bronzer. But I love the way this blends out. I love the way that this looks. And it feels good on my dry skin. I don't know. I really like it. It's looking real harsh on camera right now, but I promise you it's very light. But yeah, $54 for a bronzer slash contour slash whatever is nothing to sneeze at. But I will tell you, if I lost every bit of my makeup and I had to go out and just repurchase it, this would be one of the very first items I would repurchase. I feel like the quality is so damn good. For me, it works really well on my skin. I just love the way it warms up the face. $54 freaking dollars though. I just realized I already forgot to do my concealer. Now for concealer, I don't know if this one is really fair or not, but I'm gonna be using the Glossier Stretch Concealer in G11. This retails for $16. The reason why I say I don't know if this is really fair is because I don't know that I love this yet. I only got this last year, maybe in December even. Like, this is one of the most recent makeup products I've gotten, and I had wanted it for years and years and years. But then once I got it, I don't know how I love it. I feel like it's not as creamy as I want it to be, and I feel like everyone touted how incredibly creamy this stuff is. And for me, it's not as creamy. I don't know. Maybe I'm just the Goldilocks of concealers over here. And of course today I love how it applied. It heard me. It heard me trying to say that I might get rid of it or something like that. And it was like, please let me stay. And I was like, okay. For blush, I can be willing to bet that a lot of you knew this one was coming, but this is the Melt Cream Blush Light in Lynx. You can see I have significant pan in this. It's my favorite cream blush of all time. It's my favorite blush of all time right now, I would say. So I don't know. It's this beautiful, like it looks just straight up like bronzy gold, but I feel like once you apply it to the cheeks, it just warms up. It does have a more pinky tone than you'd expect, but it's just so beautiful and such an underrated color. I love the glow on this, but I love the color. It's bronzy, it's warm, it's even pink, it's peachy. It's really beautiful. I feel like it's a very natural shade too. I don't know. I really freaking love it. I always love Lynx. Lynx is just, oh, it's so good. Now, I'm not gonna lie, there's a part of me that wants to put another blush over this, but I wouldn't normally do that. So I'm not gonna do that because I don't want it to mess up the calculations of how much everything costs. But this by itself does cost $24 each. I have all of them. I don't regret it for a split second. These are amazing. If you are a cream blush lover, highly recommend these. But what is my hair doing today? So I'm willing to bet that some of you were like screaming at your screen that I need to be powdered. I'm powdering. Calm your tits. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. Again, massive dip. And again, this is a product that I would absolutely buy and I will absolutely repurchase if I had lost all of my makeup. Now, what does this one retail for? $46. $46. Now, powder takes me forever to finish because I don't use a lot of powder. I know it seems weird to put on blush like before powder and everything, but the only places I really powder are under my eyes and my eyelids, just to kind of set everything there. I do the sides of my nose and sometimes the top. Today I'm looking a little oily, so I am gonna do the top of my nose and my mustache area, my chin. And some days I'll powder down here, but I'm not looking very shiny, so I'm actually gonna skip it today because I don't like a lot of powder. I don't like a matte finish. I like to still be like luminous and glowy and everything like that. So it is finally time. We are going to move on to the eyeshadow, and I'm going to be doing a very basic eyeshadow look because again, that's what I would do on my regular basis. And the one palette that I tend to reach for over and over when I'm doing just a neutral look for work or a work event or things like that is the Natasha Denona Bronze. I've talked about this palette plenty of times before, but this is a neutral warm tone palette with mattes, with shimmers, with all the above, and it just has a really good mix for doing a nice neutral look. So this palette retails for $69. Again, can you get palettes for cheaper? Of course you can. Of course you can. But this is a palette that just works for me. It's one of those things where I don't ever have to worry about the quality. I don't have to worry about if I have time to do a look with it because typically it takes me, and I'm sure today it's going to, less than 5 minutes to do an eye look with this because I'm just wanting something that makes me look a little more polished, a little more alive. So first I'm gonna go in with Beach, which is just kind of a neutral brown light color, and I just swirl that on the outside of my eye and I bring that into the crease. For me, it's just the ease of this palette. Again, the quality is so good for me, and I know there are a lot of people that don't love Natasha Denona quality, but the quality is so good for me that it just makes looks effortless. Makes looks effortless. Just, it makes your look effortless. After that, I'm going in with kind of a smaller blending brush, and I go into Suntan, which is this more warm, deeper brown, but still fairly light, and I put that on the outer corner and I bring that a little more concentrated into the crease. Plus, if you have blue eyes and don't own this palette, what are you doing with your life? Because it just, I don't know, I feel like it makes everything pop like crazy. Now, I wouldn't always do a shimmer on the lid, but today I feel like it. So I'm going in with Silk, and I'm going in with this brush. This is just like the creamiest shade, and I feel like it personally goes on best with a finger. And I'm just gonna take that across the rest of the lid for kind of a gentle wash of sparkle, but it's nothing like too aggressive. I'm even going to use this for liner today. So I'm going into Deep Dive, which is an almost black shade. It's not quite black, but I'm taking that on a very, very small brush, and I'm just kind of pressing that into my lash line just as a little bit of a visual interest, but it's nothing like too harsh. It just kind of makes your lashes look a little fuller, and I'm going to use a different brush. This is crap. Ah, there we go. My BK Beauty 208. This is going to be better. There we go. So again, it really just kind of bulks up your lash line a little bit, but it's not anything too aggressive. So before anything else, that's the final eye look. And again, $69. No small feat. And I'm going to tight line my upper waterline. And this is kind of a freebie because I have a very hard time finding black liners that stay on my waterline. So when I find one, I use it till it's gone no matter what. So I'm using the Marc Jacobs Highliner Eye Gel Crayon. Now here's the thing, this is very discontinued at this point. It's gone, so I can't even give you a price for this because you can't get it anymore. And I just wanted to be honest with you, I didn't want to grab an eyeliner just to grab one that didn't work well. This one worked like a charm. So if you have a black liner that stays on your waterline that you love, please leave it in the comments down below. I'm always looking for a new one. but I'm just lining the upper waterline with this. And again, this will just kind of thicken up the lashes a little bit and make it look like you have more of them. For mascara, I am going to be using the Milk Kush mascara. I always have people ask me if this one is still my favorite because I did a video talking about how much I loved it. I still adore this. I only have the mini this time. The mini retails for $14. They do have obviously a full size that I love, but since I have this, it's what I'm using. It makes my lashes look so thick and luscious, and I am just obsessed with it. So the way I like to use this is I put it at the very base and I kind of wiggle it up to get my lashes really thick and coated. I love it. The length this gives me is ridiculous. Look at the difference. Look at it between mascara and no mascara. If you are looking for a new mascara, this is one that I highly recommend always. I've been recommending this one for years. If they ever discontinue it, I will actually cry. Doesn't mascara just bring it all together? It makes me so happy. Now for my eyebrows, if I'm doing kind of a more intense look or I'm going out or something like that, I do sculpt my brows a little bit. Like I don't use concealer or anything, but I do use a pencil and a brow glue and I shape them very nicely into place. But if I'm just doing something quick and I just want to get out the door, it's always the Kosas Air Brow. This is just a tinted brow gel, but I feel like it really does help, you know, the fibers in it help you to look like you have fuller brows because mine are not as full as I would personally like them to be. You just run this through and I feel like it really does make a nice difference, but it's very subtle. Everything just looks a little more polished. Can you tell how it makes my brows look a little bit thicker and just more put together? Now this retails for $24 and I will say I've had some issues with Kosas products in the past where they go bad quicker because they don't have preservatives, because they are a clean beauty brand and things like that. This has never done me wrong. It has a very nice tight seal on it. I've had this for a very long time. This is my second tube, but I've had this one for a long time and I just love it. All right, we are nearing the end. We have lips and highlighter left. Let's do highlighter first. I usually do highlighter as my last step for some reason. I don't know why. So this is the one, I do have a lot of highlighters and I have a lot of go-tos, but this is the one I've been using lately. This is the Sigma highlighter in Golden Hour. It really is gold. So, I mean, it might and might not work on your skin tone, but I've really been liking this. I use a very little bit though, because it can get out of hand and I just put it on and oh my God, I love the look of it. I love it. I think it's just so freaking pretty and I still love a really nice highlighter and I think that this one does the trick. It's so metallic but not like gold on my skin. It's just pretty. Now this highlighter retails for $35. Again, I've used this one a ton of times and you can barely tell. Like you can see where I've used it, but I use this one often and it still looks brand new. Lips. I feel like such a jerk when I looked at this and I was like, okay, what lip liner do I use most often? And I do use lip liner every makeup look, every single one. And I had to go with this because it really is the one I use most often. So it's another duo similar to my foundation, the Melt Perfectionist lip liners. And the shades I use are Cinnamon and Bear. I use these so often. I am shocked that you can tell it's funny that they have the exact same amount left. I've used a ton, but it's still a lot there. You know what I mean? These are so super creamy. Let me wipe off some. So what I do is I use Cinnamon to line my whole lip and the inner corners of both my top and bottom lip. And then I take Bear and I fill in the rest of the lip. I feel like that gives the lips a really nice contour, and to be honest, a lot of times I will just use these two lip liners and no lipstick, but I am going to go in with my favorite lipstick, which is the Charlotte Tilbury JK Magic. It is just a very neutral pinky nude. Oh, I forgot to say, these retail for $19 each, so for the two of them, you are paying $38 for lip liner. That's so ridiculous, and this lipstick is $37. That's a really expensive lip. That's like a $70 lip. I am so serious when I say that a lot of times these numbers just don't click in my head because, again, I'm buying one thing at a time. But when I just realized I have a $70 lip that I wear every day. So like, what if I run out of all of them at the same time and I suddenly have to go out and blow $70 on one lip? But if it makes me really happy, is it worth it? I think so. All right, so this is the final look. This is, again, my everyday look, my work look, my, I'm going out with my mom look, things like that. And I feel confident in this look. I feel more put together, especially when my bangs stay in place. But I really just love it and I'm happy in it. So let me calculate all of this together. I'm scared. Okay, I just added it up. This full face of makeup, if you were to go out and buy all of these products right now, it would be $463.50. I don't know why when I started all of this, even as I was looking at the individual items, I was like, it's going to be, oh my God, it's going to be like $250 for a full face. It's not. I didn't think $463.50. That is shocking to me. But again, it's not like I'm taking this Sigma highlighter that's $35 and using it all in one go. So taking that into consideration, is this a lot of money? Yes, it is. It still feels like a lot of money, but I feel like $463.50. I feel like my skin looks glowing. I feel like my lips look nice and full. I feel like my eyes look bright and blue, and it's just like a slightly more polished version of myself where I just feel more confident. So what is that worth to you money-wise? That's what I guess you have to balance out and figure out for yourself. But this was kind of an interesting experiment. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I love my makeup today. I love my skin today. My skin is like on point. But that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was, again, very, very interesting to me. Go ahead and look in your makeup collection and add it all up, what you would wear on just a daily basis. Leave in the comments how much your full face of makeup costs, because I'd be really curious to know if it's like the same level as mine, if it's more, if it's less. I know there are some people who would be way more and some people who would be way, way less. Some people would be like, if I'm going to work, I'm just wearing lip balm or something like that, and that's awesome. But I do love doing makeup. It puts me in kind of a zen state. I'm doing this right now before work, before I have a full day of Zoom call meetings. So I'm at least glad that I can come on camera looking a little more polished, although I should probably change my Skid Row t-shirt, my Big Guns shirt, if I'm going to be on Zoom calls with my corporate job. But that's it. If you like this video, I would love if you'd give it a thumbs up. That really helps out my channel. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Those are all GlitterFallout. And as always and forever, you are super freaking rock stars. I love you so much with my whole heart, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.